The South African Human Rights Commission says it will investigate the death of a pupil at the Christiana School for the Blind in the Northwest. The Commission says this is not the first time there have been deaths at special schools in that province. Its investigations into Christiana School for the Blind and the Northwest School for the Deaf found pupils' human rights were violated. SAHRC Northwest Acting Provincial Manager Osmond Ngomezulu joins us now. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for your time. I would imagine you've already done some preliminary investigation at least. What has that found?
Good evening. Thanks for having us. Indeed, we went to the school yesterday, and what is important to note at this stage is that it's still at the investigation. It's still at its preliminary stages. But we conducted a site inspection at the school and spoke to the principal, and some information was revealed, which in fact revealed that more needs to be done, because the principal then pointed out at an investigation that has already been initiated by the Department of Education in the province in that matter.
What is the condition of the facility? Maybe we'll start there.
Well,
just from looking at it, is it the kind of facility that caters for people with special needs?
Well, we've first acknowledged that there is a building, there are teachers, so the department has done a bit to ensure that the learners access education. But what our team observed on the ground was that there is shortage of rooms. A hall is currently being used as a hostel for male learners, but there's also issues.
Open hall.
An open hall, yes. There's also issues of overcrowding in some classes. Staffing remains a challenge, and this is what the Commission has consistently has been finding in its investigation, where you find that maybe the school has one nurse for 188 learners, and the house mothers, some of them are not adequately trained to cater for the needs of these learners, because from the name you can tell it's a Christiana School for the Blind. It's a school for learners with visual impairments, but what we've established now is that there are learners with other conditions like physical disabilities in addition to their visual impairments. And also on the issue of the specific learner, the Commission will request not to divulge much because it's still at its early stages. We're yet to make contact with the parents, because at the school we could not obtain the details, as the principal indicated that the matter is subject of an investigation of the department, so her hands were tied. She could not reveal much. But it's an ongoing investigation. We will look at all of those issues, but what we are already picking is that the issues that we picked at Northwest School for the Deaf are also existing in Christiana School for the Blind.
Okay, we'll have to respect that request for the information to not be divulged at this stage. But from what the principal told you, what has led to this situation where an open hall gets turned into living quarters? You know, what has led to this situation where pupils with different needs to that which this particular facility was meant for ended up, being there?
Well, the more will be revealed when we speak to the Department of Education, because
from what the principal said, what led to this?
So there's information she would provide, but there's information which she would disclaim and say it's part of an ongoing investigation. But what we have established is that this is currently happening. But also the issue of, she does say that she's requested, she's made submissions to the District Department of Education about the shortage of hostel accommodation, and currently they have to make do with what they have. And we've taken some pictures of the conditions in the in the hostel or the hall, but other facilities like the kitchen and others looked okay. But we highlighted the issue of the sleeping arrangements for male learners.
But then if, as you said earlier, this is what you have found, even from during your previous investigations, the question then, I suppose, should be, what have you done about it?
Important question. Particularly the investigative report in the Northwest School for the Deaf matter, the Commission made recommendations that the Department of Education in the province has to do an audit, an overall audit of all the schools. How many special schools are in the province? What do they cater for? The staffing needs, the resources, and the like. And
what has been their response? What have they done about it?
And that recommendation was not challenged. That report was not reviewed.
But do you know if they're doing anything about it?
Yes. In our national provincial hearing last year, where we're now looking at, we've come across this in the school, now we're looking at the province-wide issues. They made submissions about the steps that are being taken and that the audit was underway. And certainly this triggers the Commission to now put more pressure and find out what are they doing, because the Commission believes that once we know what we are dealing with, it's only then that the department will be able to respond to these challenges, because currently it looks like an incident happens, we respond to it, years pass, another incident happens, and that cannot be the solution. The solution should be, we should know what it is that we are dealing with, because the issues, you go from one school to another, are more or less similar. We have shortage of staff, there's safety and security concerns, and there's overcrowding in the hostels. So all of those issues and compliance with buildings, norms and standards regulations is also a concern, which was found in the Northwest School for the Deaf investigation.
And a perennial problem for the Department of Education. But that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Thank you very much for coming through. That was the South African Human Rights Commission's Northwest Acting Provincial Manager, Osmond Mngomezulu.